And as we move now into the official holiday, I guess Christmas season. Ready to do that? We are in December. Countdown to Christmas. I've been, binging on Hallmark movies.
Wow.
Yeah, I watch
The
Hallmark.
greatest Christmas movie of all time. Do you know what it is?
Die Hard?
No.
No, it's an old
Not
movie.
doing the Die
There's
Hard.
only one. There's only one great Christmas
Yeah,
movie.
Trading Places.
No,
Now, that's one of my favorite.
That's the greatest.
but that ain't the greatest.
That's the
You got to go back to
because you know why it's so great? Because it does Thanksgiving and Christmas. Get about that. Yeah. 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 Eddie Murphy in
I'm
his
not even
prime.
going back to the movie I'm talking about because, like, you wouldn't even know.
What movie?
Because it's an old movie. Old movie. It's a Wonderful
Christmas
Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, with James Stewart. That's the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, but you look, there's been other movies too, but like that's been the standard for a minute. But then I'm old, so I know the old ones and the new ones. That's the thing. Okay.
Lady Estelle,
Yeah.
can you break the tie?
Well, I like Trading Places. That's the one that I look forward to seeing every holiday.
So I have a tradition in my family.
I just love it.
It's like the last 6 years. Because I'm an Eddie Murphy.
I found that out on the
Yeah,
last show.
Eddie Murphy is better than Denzel to me.
Yeah, look, don't stop. Just go back. Did you like
Eddie Murphy is the
Okay.
GOAT. So with that
Yeah.
being said, my family every Thanksgiving, I always watch Trading Places. I had to send my sister $4 to watch it.
You watch a movie every year. Really?
I love
Well, if you love them, I understand.
I love Trading Places.
Okay.
48 Hours.
Okay, so you have a Eddie
48
Murphy.
hours.
You have your own Eddie Murphy Film Festival on Thanksgiving. That's cool.
Rest in
I
peace
like
to
that.
my uncle.
Yeah.
Uncle Ralph. He put me on to the movie. He was a movie buff,
Mm-hmm.
and I love him for putting me on the Pee Wee Herman and Eddie Murphy.
Oh Lord. Now Pee Wee.
That's quite a contrast, but
It is.
other than that, they both funny,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for taking over.
No, it's cool. It's cool, man. That's a good welcome back. Get all the blood flowing. I do a Denzel Washington Film Festival like every week. So, speaking of a film, let me just get this out real quick. The 688 Tyler Perry film, starring Kerry Washington and Oprah Winfrey, among others, is in select theaters around the country from December 6th to December 12th. It is in Oakland at one theater, the Landmark in Piedmont, and it is at the San Francisco Landmark Theater down in Opera Plaza. So I got to get over there this week to see it. It's only 1 week in selected theaters, and then we'll be on Netflix, I believe, beginning the 20th of the month. Now, for those who don't know, 688, I'm not gonna say, look it up. Folks, look up this film that Tyler Perry has. People have seen it, say it's wonderful.
2 underrated theaters is Van Ness.
Yeah.
And Alameda.
I haven't been to either one. I think I've been to Van Ness though, long time ago.
The Van Ness on within the Opera Plaza.
That's the one I'm talking
It's
about.
a small one.
Yeah, that's one. That's where the movie is right now.
Yep.
I'm gonna try and get over there maybe Wednesday, maybe tomorrow.
Very underrated theater to go
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah. But my movie theaters gotta have good popcorn. So I don't know if they ain't got good popcorn. They get rated down. I don't care what the sound, the surround,
Best
care none
popcorn
of that.
theater.
Yeah.
Best popcorn theater.
I ain't been to enough movies to go, man. I don't want COVID just shut down my movie going. What's
Yeah.
up? Is there a best popcorn theater?
I'm from Fillmore. Kabuki.
Kabuki ain't bad. Kabuki not bad. Kabuki not bad. Kabuki not bad.
I just stick
That
with
was
the home
my
turf. Remember Coronet? The Coronet on Gary Street was very good popcorn.
Okay.
The Galaxy was horrible. The Galaxy off of Pine was horrible.
Let me just say one more time: the 688 tribute to the Black women in World War II who delivered the mail. The film is as Oh, anyway, it's great. Look it up, look it up, look it up. You get the story yourself. There's a personal connection to that. I will tell you after I've seen the movie. But yeah, I'm very, very happy. All right, let's get it. Now we have to salute Lady Estelle because her birthday was Saturday. Happy birthday.
Birthday, Lady
Happy
Estelle.
birthday, Lady E.
Thank you, thank you,
We
thank
know
you.
you've been celebrating it. Well, it's shrouded in secrecy, but it's cool.
It's not shrouded in secrecy.
Well, I
You
had to
know,
question it. You're like,
that's not correct, but it has been absolutely wonderful.
Oh, good.
I am so grateful. And I tell you what, one of the most wonderful things about this particular birthday is I was able to just get up, go and do something that I wanted to do that just brought me a lot of joy. It's like
right.
no, no resistance, no question you want, you know, and I just loved it. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. And I'm still here. These are some big numbers. These numbers are getting bigger and bigger every year. So, you know, whew,
Do it all as much as you can. I
I
think,
mean, why not? When you
well,
spend the first 50, 60 years of your life working and taking care of and looking after and, giving to so many, and you just don't even consider yourself in the equation. And then one day, you get, I think I want to do that. Then I get it on the internet. Hey, make that ticket, get that card,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes. Do that.
well, here's what I said. I'm not gonna tell you the whole text. I said, what I said. One more year in the book of life to do some more great things, and
Yeah.
that's right.
Well, if you want
Happy
to call
birthday,
in
lady.
to wish Lady E a birthday shout
I
out
could do that.
because
Yeah.
in a weird way, I love Lady.
What do you mean in a weird
No, I'm
way?
just saying because I interact with you more so.
Yes, yes.
But in a weird way, we all have love for Lady E,
Oh,
Lady
yeah.
Estelle.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's just like
One and only.
it's so the one and you said it correctly.
One and only.
Dr. Marshall.
One and only.
And you're a GOAT. But she's
the one and only.
She's the one and only.
Oh, thank you. Well, if I might give me a birthday moment, let me just say that a few of the things that I really enjoy about Trading Places. Okay, I just have to say this. I have to say this. Sorry. Is all of the wonderful elements in that movie going from the unimaginable to the really unimaginable. The
Yeah.
gift, the brilliance, and you don't even know where it's coming from. Did you really? Can you really? And then the full circle process, the
Yep.
academic part of it, the educational, and
Right.
then how life will bring you back to where you were. What you give is what you get. It's got so many wonderful elements in it. You can't help but just enjoy it.
Man.
All right. So
That's
me.
it's one of my favorite movies. A
Okay.
booyaka, ha.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, thank you for giving me that moment.
Wonderful. All of that is true, unless you Mortimer. Most of the two.
Mortimer and Winthorpe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
they had a plan, and then all of a sudden the plan changed. It's like,
don't get too
Well,
big
but-
because you could be on the other side. That's my message from the movie. You
For
you
$1.
can lose it all. 'cause you can't keep everything in perspective. So yeah. Good. All right, let's do this. And lady, now that he said something nice about you, we have given Filmo an early holiday present. So Ann, would you please let him announce what you did for him? Go ahead. Listen to this, Ann. Who can do it? Let's do it.
Did you get a text on a was it Thursday or Friday? First I called
Yesterday.
you. Oh,
Call
yes.
me.
Yeah, I was like,
Call me.
Yeah. Because
He's smiling. He liked this one.
I'd like to call.
Look,
But Mike's busy.
The boy got nothing but teeth on this one.
I called her right back though, and then I seen the text message when I'm calling her. She was like, "You want to go to the Niner game?" She hit me up. Hey, Miss Ann hit me up so smooth. She was like, "Do you like the Raiders or the Niners?" Like, you know who I like. I appreciate you so much. I'm gonna stay alive and free in the stadium.
And the good thing is they look like they back on track. They had a great game today, beating up on the Bears. So,
Knock on wood.
you go on, they might, they may be making a little
Got a
push.
chance.
Yes. Yes. They're not mathematically eliminated, but you're going to have a good time Thursday. Have a great time.
I
man.
will. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You deserve it. And Mike, I absolutely love working with you. Thank you so much. And Ann, thank you for thinking about him and giving him an opportunity to do something wonderful.
I really
Thank you. Yeah.
Real talk. Yeah, going to a football game is a big thing. I don't want to get emotional, but it's a big thing because when you tell people like I'm taking
game.
Yeah, they be like,
what? For real? Man,
So,
yeah. How you get that? Yeah.
I'm blessed more than others, but it's a big
one
thing.
more thing.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Mike got the fresh cut too. Yeah, you got man.
Yeah, I was seeing that.
He got the fresh cut.
I'm seeing that, but I also need you to know.
Yeah,
I got a face for radio.
Yeah, well,
I also need you to know that it takes, you said, I don't want to get emotional, but I need you to know that it takes a real man to give men permission to be emotional.
Oh man, thank you so much. I got that from my mom.
Hey.
Shout out to Melody Fontella.
All right, we better get into the show. We gotta
We're gonna start crying.
We gotta guess. No, it's the holidays.
But it's the season. This is the season.
Had such mess, so we're gonna be smooth on the next few weeks on this show. It's gonna be all good. It's gonna begin with our guest tonight. And I call this show Good People Doing Good Things. I love these shows because I usually do this theme at the end of the year. What's your secret, right? What's your secret? And it's always it's basically everybody out there ain't shooting, robbing, stealing, ain't doing bad. There's a lot of people doing good things. So I love doing these shows. And tonight we got somebody very, very special, very, very special. I've known him for a long time. Welcome to Street Soldiers.
Oh, man.
Rudy.
Hey, Dr. Marshall.
United Players, celebrating the banner. I had a banner made up, but I didn't bring it. Okay. Celebrating 30 years of service to the city. Rudy, thank you very much. Tonight is your night. Now, let me tell you how this gonna work. So usually they do a gun buyback every year. So I have him on, to talk about the gun back. And he was like, I'm gonna do it. I said, no, tonight, 30 years is your night, your organization's night. And I said, we're gonna do like, this is your life. He said, what's that? Okay, but only I remember this is your life. So Rudy, this is you. We're gonna do some in the first hour. We're gonna get to the gun back. Then we got some people gonna celebrate you in the second hour because what you've done this past 30 years is absolutely remarkable. And when I say good people doing good things, I really mean that, brother, because I've known you for a long time. I ain't gonna tell nobody how yet, but first of all, how you feeling right now? 30 years, how you feeling?
I feel good. I'm very thankful. I feel blessed to do the work that I'm doing, though, Dr. Marshall. You a pioneer in the game, and a lot of the reasons why I do what I do is because of you, brother. You and Jack Jacqua.
Thank you, sir. That's nice of you to hear. Then I'm gonna get May out of it and go straight to you. So, all right. 30 years, United Players. I'm going to just read a little about it. United Players is a San Francisco-based violence prevention and youth development organization. We have a comprehensive range of services to prepare vulnerable youth for higher education, employment, and healthy living within a safe, nurturing, and collaborative environment. Some of your programs are in school violence prevention. I'm giving the thumbnail sketch here, my brother. After school programs, community and crisis response services, case management, and workforce development. Now, that's the overview. By the way, if anybody out there wants to call in and salute and say something, thank you for 30 wonderful years to Rudy. I'm gonna give you the number, 877-955-1061. 877-955-1061. You might have crossed paths, been influenced by, or you might just want to say, thank you for 30 years of wonderful work. Thank you for 30 years of wonderful work. So we're going back to the beginning, sir.
Hello.
What did you, I mean, so see, I'm assuming, look, this goes all over the world, right? Go all over the world. So everybody don't know who is this guy? What are you talking about? You got to start at the beginning. Biography, grew up, where you went to school, the whole bit.
Okay.
Get to talking.
First, let me just say, God is good. Praise God.
Yes,
Ladies,
sir.
still, it's good to be on there with you, Dr. Marshall. Filmo Mike was Hatton King, right? And everybody else on there. I see you, baby. You still looking the same.
King with the fresh cut.
Yeah. He's still standing vertical, just like me, you know. So I'm born and raised San Francisco, South of Market District, Tenderloin, District 6. I went to Bessie Carmichael,
Yep.
but that was elementary, got kicked out of there. And then I went to Buena Vista. From Buena Vista, I went to Patrick Henry. You remember Patrick Henry, which is, I think, downtown high now? It's only on DeHarrow Street.
Yeah.
So for Patrick Henry, then I went to Potrero Hill. And that's where I met you, Dr. Marshall, Potrero Hill Middle School, right there on DeHarrow. Wow. Back then, it was a beautiful school back then. And then Mission
stop right there before we go to Mission. Now, this is crazy. I remember him being in my class.
Right.
I actually
Math class.
Really, I do. I got a memory from my students.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember Rudy then. Right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, sitting there, so in the 80s.
That's
Rudy
really amazing. And I'm that's crazy.
So, like, you know, I didn't forecast all this work, but the point is, he was there, he was doing his thing, he was great, he was a wonderful student, I didn't flunk him, so he must have been good.
I tried my best though, Dr. Marshall. I tried my best.
But I developed this relationship with this young man, and then to see him grow into this, well, look,
God is good.
Look, it's just amazing and wonderful and all of that. Okay, so that's how far I go back with young Rudy, and you figure, well, I don't know if I had him in 8th grade or 7th grade, but he's in 12 or 13, right? So to see him grow into this OG, and then where'd you go to high school after that?
So I went to Mission High School,
okay,
and Balboa High School,
okay,
and
yeah.
And when I had a Jerry curl, Mike, curl back then.
Oh, wow.
I still got all this though. Look,
I see.
Got the hang time.
Yeah, you shining and shining.
I had a curl back then,
So early on, what kind of work did you get into leading up to to the founding of an organization? What did you do when you got out of school? That part. Now you filling me in, because that part I don't know.
So thanks for asking. I'm like everybody in the inner city. I ended up getting caught up in the dope game, right? Mm-hmm. Selling crack, during the late 80s, mid-80s, late 80s, crack cocaine came in, and it was a very lucrative way for us to make money in the inner city. I got caught up in that, and not only did I get caught up in that lifestyle, but it ended up becoming one of my own best customers. And so, I've been on both sides of it, understood it, went in and out of jail for it. And then in 1993, I got out of jail. I was looking for a job, and I ran into one of the guys, Mr. Marshall, Dr. Marshall, who used to help me out when I was a young kid at Candy Kip. It was a center in my neighborhood called Candy Kip Community Center. Yeah. Candy Kip in West Bay. Eugene Coleman used to run it. Anyway, they sent me up to City College for a second chance program.
Wow.
And it was a job opportunity at my second chance program there that led me to get the job as a gang prevention counselor at Bernal Heights Neighborhood Center.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And so Bernal Heights Neighborhood Center, right? And it's a true story. When I was working for the EOPS program, that's what it was at City College, second chance program. When I first got out, they asked me to go make a delivery on school campus at the science building on campus at City Hall. And on one of the flyers, I'm looking at the wall, it said gang prevention Filipino. And I was like, man, I'm Filipino and I gang bang. I got to get that job. So 415-206-2140, extension 139. And you know this gentleman, may he rest in peace, Mauricio Vela.
Yeah.
He picked up and he said, come on, apply for the job. I went up to Bernal Heights Neighborhood Center, 515 Cortland. He asked me 2 questions. He said, you ever been locked up? And I was like, in my mind, there goes that question. Every time I say yes, you don't get the job.
Right,
You know,
right.
I'm a felon.
Right.
So I told him the truth. I said, yes, yes, I've been incarcerated. He said, you speak Filipino. I lied. I said, yeah, I do. Bam, he said, you hired. And so he said, go find all the Filipino gang members. And me being from San Francisco, born and raised, I knew where all the Filipino gang members at, Balboa High School. And I used to go up to Balboa High School. So I got on a 14 mission, got off on Onondaga, went up to Bal. And at Balboa High School in 1994, Dr. Marshall, it was off the hook.
Yeah.
Nothing but, sideshows in front, gang violence, turf violence, and a big fight ensued between different ethnicities, primarily the Filipinos and blacks. Then the Latinos and Samoans got in. And I was able to get the Filipinos. And there was a brother named Andre Alexander, who was a football coach at Bal at the time, who knew all the brothers. And then I got Leyte, big old Leyte, Samoan Leyte. Y'all, everybody know him from North Beach. He used to work with security. And Cowboy.
Yep.
Cowboy. I know
Cowboy.
Yep.
And so during this time, Dr. Marshall, you and Jack was already doing your thing. Y'all already been doing this. So all I did was follow y'all train and follow the blueprint, keep people alive and free. That's all I was saying. The same thing in message, but not on your level yet. I was trying to figure out how to get there. And so the blacks and Filipinos, Samoans and Latinos got together, all the youth. And I asked them what started the fight and what can we do to stop the violence. They came up with all the solutions and answers to stop the violence at Balboa. So it worked. In 94, they had to get low players with Quinn and all them. They had Pote, the Players Club, spelled Layaz.
Yep.
So we adopted that name. The kids said, let's name this a club. I said, what y'all want to name it? The power was in the people. They said United Players. October the 8th, 1994, Dr. Marshall. And fast forward 30 years later, we still got the same name.
You're doing your thing.
We worldwide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We followed your philosophy, man. That's all I did.
Well, no, what's up?
Same thing you did. Kept people alive and free, brother.
I want to ask you, I'm going to go back, step back. In 93, when you got out.
Yes, sir.
What did you learn something inside, or, a lot of people get out and go back. I mean, getting out and staying out is like, whew, if you can do that, because a lot of people don't change. They just do time. Did you know at that point, I ain't going back no matter what, or what was your mindset when you finally got free?
So I think when I got out, I was just looking for opportunity, right?
Okay.
It wasn't even that like, if I go back, I'll go back, because I ended up violating again in 97 when I was running UP. Because even when I started UP in 94, from 94 to 97, I still was kind of like walking the fence.
Yeah.
Dr. Jekyll in the morning, Mr. Rob your butt at night still type, thinking, because I remember I'm running Bernal Heights in District 11, serving the community. But then I want to go home down 6th Street, Tenderloin area. I would get caught back in the mix. And so I got into a high-speed chase. I had a gun in the car. I had my homeboys in the car. We had dope in the car in 97. And I got busted. And during that time, Mayor Willie Brown helped me out.
Oh, wow.
He helped me out so they wouldn't incarcerate me. Right? Because they said I wasn't a person who they just could lock up, because they felt I was somebody who could do something.
Right.
And so I was at the time I was having a baby too, right? Not me, my girlfriend. She was having she was pregnant already. You feel me? And so I gotta do something.
That part.
I'm a United player, but I ain't. So I said, man, I can't serve two gods.
Yeah.
I gotta go ahead and walk the walk and can't be a hypocrite. And so from 97 on, though, I said, I'm not going back. One day in jail was too many. Right. And so I started.
Jack has a couple of sayings for that. He tells the guy, you can't lead a double life. You can't lead a double life. And we say good advice, bad example cause confusion, and I think the toughest thing about being in our position is we have to literally, live by example, right? Because we don't want to confuse anybody. So, you getting to that point was just marvelous. number one, you really were alive and free, but then you had to demonstrate to everybody else that, yeah, I got to be the one. So,
and even back then, Dr. Marshall, I remember you used to always say that. You know what I mean? And I didn't get that though back then. I swear to God, there's so many lessons that you have taught me, that you said to me and have done through your actions that I didn't understand until I got older and realized what you were saying, man, was the realest way. I promise you. And I can give you one example, right?
Yeah.
I remember I came seeing you over there at your office over there, Dog Patch.
Yeah.
And I came crashing in the doors. I was like, I'm gonna go see Dr. Marshall. I was in his class. He gonna see me. And you was in your office, but you told the secretary, I said, tell Rudy just to call me later and I'll get with him because I'm busy. And I took it personal, right? I'm like, man, this dude, man, act like, now he running street soldier. He can't see nobody. He know me. And I left feeling bad, right? But as I got older and I started doing this, it happened to me.
That's how it goes.
Pop up and just come and crash
and
it.
You're like, yeah.
And I swear to God, man, I feel like I'm juggling a tennis ball, a bowling ball, and a chainsaw. The chainsaw's running, and people will visit me, and I will say the same thing you said. Hey, tell them, man, I can't see them right now. But I knew them for a long time. And what hit my head was like, that's exactly what Dr. Marshall did to me. Now I know where he's coming from. And I get it, man. I get it. Like, you're on a different level that you and Jack were on doing this work. That was probably the hardest thing for you to see everybody, because everybody needed you. You a doctor. Everybody needed you. They knew that you was about love, man, and you was about caring and saving lives.
And then from him, Dr. Marshall, to you, I've seen you change a lot of people's lives, bro.
Yeah.
Like for real. You already know. We be outside. I play I met Rudy through basketball and Camille.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I've seen him crack dealers. They dealing crack, crank, thee, whatever you could sell. He changed them people's lives, man. Them people, I'll be like, damn, bro, you got a business now? I'm like, man, I'm slacking in my macking. It's all because it started from you and Shaq. It trickled down to whoever it trickled down to. You got people in Richmond. You got, man, that's amazing, bro.
Good people do good things. And I would say everybody can't be the best. Somebody got to be the good guy. Somebody.
And Dr. Marshall, it's hard. It's hard doing the right thing in a world that's messed up, right? Or doing the right thing.
Absolutely true.
And doing the right thing in a neighborhood and community, man, it's kind of, has a bad, like community. Because I live right off of the Tenderloin and 6th Street. It's like walking through the jungle. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not popular to do the right thing when you living in a world that's corrupt.
So, did you have a vision? When you got it going, you got United Playaz. Even though it ain't all coming together, but in your mind, what was your vision? What did you want to see?
So I wanted to see what I was doing in District 11, Bernal Heights, area, and back to my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
That was my vision. And so there would be a lot of young men and women who was in juvenile hall when I would go up there, and they would be from my neighborhood locked up, but I would visit kids from other neighborhoods. But the kids from my neighborhood, when they was in detention, would say, hey, Rudy, how come you don't help us out the way you helping them out? Like go to court for them, visit them in court. I said, you're right. And so I asked Mauricio Vela, can I take what I started at Bernal Heights and bring it to my neighborhood? The name, United Playaz.
Yeah.
And he told me like a pimp would tell a hoe. He said, take it, but you can't have none of the money that we accumulated back then because it was a grant. And I didn't know none of that. You know what I mean? I just was helping people out.
Yeah.
And so 2005, I moved back to my neighborhood. I got the blessing from him. Then I started visiting a lot of people who helped me out during the duration from 94 to 2005 to get me funded. Yeah. And the vision was to have it in my neighborhood. That's all it was.
Rudy, I know I had it was on the job training because I was a teacher, right? Then I was an assistant principal. We got a call, so let's do this. We'll come back to continue the conversation. Got a call? You got a call for Rudy Corpus United. Rich, go ahead.
Yes,
go on, brother. Go on, my brother.
This is for Rudy, and this is for Lady Estelle, and this is for you. for the people that have different gods and different religions and different cultures, can we still do we need to have another kind of God, the Bible God, to be good?
Lady E, you might have to do that one. Well, say that one more time. Do we have to have a
different kind of God to be good? No. Good
is good.
doesn't come in any particular color or religion.
That's right.
Facts.
Good is just that.
Yeah.
It is good. What it does is enhance every religion. It supports every religion. It clarifies every religion, especially when you know and you look at if it's Catholic,
Yeah.
Islam,
yeah,
Buddhism,
right.
whatever it might be, if it is good and right, kind and loving, then you are on the right track. Stay on that. Just know that is not necessarily popular. That's not what the world sees. That's not what the world doesn't see enough of that. That's not the most popular. That's not the most what can I say? That thing that brings in the most, because what you see is people who lie, cheat, steal, and they seem to prosper. But you've got to know that if it's good and it's right and it's kind and it's loving, then you are on the right track.
Hallelujah.
And I'll add, good reaches people, man. Rudy, you know this. Good reaches people. You know, the ones that are most challenged with it, man. That all you got is love. That means, you know, that is love. I want to back up. Going from where you were, I know my big thing was learning to be an executive director. That's a whole other thing, right? Stepping into that role, running the business, man, that must have been like, whoa, how big a learning curve was that for you?
I'm still learning, to be honest. I'm very thankful that I have a real good team.
Yeah.
Right. It makes it easy for me to be executive director when my team is doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And so it's easy for me to go out there and talk about what we do and have integrity about requesting, because my chase is different now. As executive director, my job is to get out there and chase money, right? And get people to know about us and really just request it. And so it's not hard for me to do it when I got a staff that be out there boots to the ground getting busy and does, really do the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they be moving me, man. It's just crazy how the connections go, because I know people that I go to the club a lot. I know security guards that know United Playaz. You know what I'm saying? It takes a hood. It takes a hood to save a hood.
That's the saying. It takes a hood.
Feel me? And when you see that, it's almost like when you
know who it is.
Remember in the 80s, you had that the boys in the with the in the mission with the hats. I forgot what they was called, but they was like basically good people.
Yeah.
You see them, it's good people. You see
like the Guardian Angel?
Guardian Angel.
You feel me? You see United Playaz, it takes a hoodie. Man, it's good people, man. I can holler at him and be like, bro, I need this resource real quick. He may not know, but he know Rudy. I know he know Rudy.
I remember a time.
I need to say to Rudy, if I may, that if you are still learning, Rudy, then you're in the perfect place, because things are changing. What impacts, affects, infects is always changing. We've got AI. That's it. We've got social media. It infects. There are so many. So if you are always learning, then you are right in line with what needs to happen, what you need to do, what modifications, what updates, what rearrangements you need to make in order to open the doors, the eyes, the ears, and the hearts of those that you touch because of the changes. So
absolutely. I remember seeing this, Rudy. I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong here. I was reading something one day. I saw some of Rudy in Ireland. Did you go to? I'm like, look, you never know where this work is gonna take you. And I saw Well, I got the island. Ain't no brothers in I mean, ain't no folks in when you get that kind of thing, what was that? I mean, like, whoa, you look back and
you was sipping on Guinness beer?
Yeah, hey, I did. I drank some beer and ate some of their fish. I heard it was good, just the way it was. Yeah. So there was a gentleman, he was a part of Google, and Google had a conference that wanted to bring people from all over the world.
Yeah.
Like they chose like 50 people around the world who were doing things to change the community and changing lives.
Yeah.
And so I got chose.
Yeah.
They asked me to come out there,
Yeah.
and I met some incredible people
Yeah.
at the table. You know, at a conference, you sit at the same table with the people from breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
So it was a 3-day conference, and I'm sitting at the table, and they kept taking pictures of this guy next to me. And I was like in my mind, who this dude is? But I didn't really trip. I kept talking and talking. The next day, he was on all the papers in Ireland, and the dude was the president of Colombia. I didn't know that was him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he was the president. I had the dude, one of the family members who bombed the 9/11, you know what I mean, which was in the planes. So it was a lot of people there, and it was basically all of us talking about what can we do to help change and keep people alive and free. Yeah. What you been doing, Dr. Marshall?
Well, you know,
you had the blueprint way long ago.
But I mean, just when you sit in those settings, you realize, man, this is way big. I mean, really, especially international settings like that, you be like, damn, man, you know, I mean, you're like, they're really.
Like it's all over the world. Everybody all over the world had the same struggles.
Right. That's exactly right. Which means you can go to any country right now, talk about what you're doing, and you can make an impact. I think that's the beauty when you're doing something that's universal and is pure. And that's why, you know, I mean, man, I
know where I was able to go last year, Dr. Marshall?
No, I ain't heard it. Give me more.
I was in Africa. I was out in Kenya. I was in the capital, Nairobi. Man, I had so much fun out there.
Man,
the struggle was real. The struggle was real in Africa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I was at, and I brought them some United Players of Love, some street soldiers alive and free, and everything. I swear to God, you taught me. I put through me, and it works. It's just love.
And people know when it's genuine. People know when it's genuine because you have no agenda. Yeah. And it's hard for people to figure out, well, why are you doing this? What you getting out of it? I just want you to
This is a goosebump.
It is, but it's
true. Giving me goosebumps.
There's so much craziness in the world. So when somebody does that, and you know, that other stuff don't reach people. This reaches people. And so
everywhere I went,
hold on, twerking don't reach people.
Check this out. Everywhere I went, when I was in Africa, right? They kept saying Mazunga. They was pointing at me, Mazunga. And I made my mind, what does that mean? And then so I asked the people who brought me, they said that means the white man. I was like, I ain't the white man, I'm the Filipino man. And then they started going, no, you're Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan.
Hilarious.
I was cracking up. Hey, but by the time I left a month later, they go, no, you're the black man now.
Look, man, I want to get we can come back to all of this, but the thing, let's talk about the gun buyback because I want to make sure everybody knows about it as we roll into this first round, and we'll come back. Talk about the gun buyback. It's a yearly thing. Let everybody know what that is. Just go for it.
So first off, I want to say, Dr. Marshall, that was you again who started all that. I just followed what you did. Remember? And I know you were brag about it, but you was the originator. You and Jack. And so anyway, this is our 14th year coming up. We have a lot of different community-based partners, SFPD, Pierce's Pledge, you know, mothers who lost their kids to gun violence. Shout out to Maddie Scott, right? We got SVIP, my brother's flying guy, right? Creature Man, you know, Victor Jones, Sean Church.
Tell Vic I say what's up.
But for sure. We still doing it too, Dr. Mark.
Preach.
Creature Man, still doing it. And so there's a lot of different partners from the private sector all the way down to the community that does it. Our 14th year, we do it. It's December 14th, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon at the location is our center, 1038 Howard Street. You know, no questions asked. Whatever guns you pull up, $100 handguns,
Yeah.
200 assault rifles.
Yeah.
Number one cause of gun violence right now for kids 18 years and younger that's killing the kids is gun violence, domestic violence, suicide.
Yeah.
And, we're not against the Second Amendment, but I'm against senseless gun violence.
We all are. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got somebody want to talk to you, so let's go to that and come back to this. Go right ahead. You're on Street Soldiers celebrating 30 years of United Players with Rudy Corpus. Go ahead. Hello.
Thank you, Rudy, for 30 years of United Players. Thank you. Well, what can you do to give Street Soldiers 2 hours on KML? What can you do?
What can I do? Give them love. That's all I'm gonna do. Give love. 2 hours of love.
Thank you, man. Thanks for the call, boy. Look,
He's a regular. He always calls
like,
he won 2 hours on Street Soldiers.
Well, I remember the first time I did a gun bag. We did a gun bag at the club, and I look, number one, doing it around Christmas time is good, okay? Because if people go giving their guns, they get some money. But I remember we had $100 for a weapon, and $200 for an assault weapon. I was stunned as to who had the guns. I mean, I know the boys in the hood had the guns, right? So like, and then all the little old ladies from Pacific Heights was bringing their guns, right?
You ain't lying.
Everybody got a gun, right? Everybody got a gun. And if we can get any gun off the street, and you've been continuing to do this for 14 straight years. I remember what we did with the and I think some of it was melted down and put into a stack. I don't remember exactly what happens to do you know what happens after the firearms are collected?
Yeah, so what we're doing now is at the SFPD, right? We get a lot of scrutiny of the police selling the guns. I said, nah, they ain't doing that. I wouldn't do it if it was like that.
Right.
So anyway, and them being our partners in this, they dismantle all the guns. They give me the gun pieces back. And when I get them back, I have artists who come and get the pieces in buckets, and they come back and they make art. And
That's
so
what I thought.
One of the art pieces, I'm gonna show you right here. I don't know if you can see it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right, it's hard to see it.
Oh wow.
We'll put it on the Instagram.
Yeah. Oh wow.
There you go. See that?
Oh wow. Oh my, we can see it.
It's a monarch.
Yeah. Keep that up.
Stands around 3 feet tall. Dr.
Wow. Made with the pieces from the guns. Oh my
100% gun pieces. And that right there, that y'all see, man. Anyway, the Warriors purchased that from me.
Wow.
And they're gonna put it in their stadium hopefully soon. Because Kerr's father got killed through gun violence.
Yes, he did.
Draymond's folks got killed.
Yeah.
And so these are some very beautiful art pieces that we're selling, and we use that to re-up gun buybacks. Sure.
Yeah. Do you get pushback with the Second Amendment, and that being the fact of some people like, well, why would I give my guns back to the government or whatever?
Yeah. Man, great question. Not just it's just regular people, man. Man, you working with the police type of thing, and I get all that.
Right.
But I know what I'm doing. And so there is people who come out there though, right, Mike? Who stick out there with us.
Right.
And try to discourage us from our gun buyback. And
oh wow.
I have a mother. Huh?
So they'll hate on you
right there. Right
wow.
on the spot. And so what I do is usually the police try to talk to them and they don't listen to the police. So I get one of the mothers and will share with them her story about what the gun did to their kid.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it touches the person who's there trying to hate, and they get it.
Wow.
And we say we're not against the Second Amendment. If you feel as though you need a gun to protect you and your family, then so be it. Right. But you got to be in the right state of mind, because in the real world, there's more guns than there's people.
Absolutely.
And people got to understand the number one cause of death for children right now in this country is gun violence.
Wow.
1 in 3 homes have guns in the house that are loaded, that's unlocked. You got a lot of people who are walking around who's angry and ain't mentally all there with guns in their house. On an average day, there's 100 Americans killed with guns.
Yeah.
Suicide, domestic violence has risen during these holidays. And so I'm not trying to take your guns away. You got the right, but just be in the right state of mind when you do got your gun.
Let me tell you something. If they giving them to you, they know they you ain't taking them from them. They giving them to you. So it ain't like you out there snatching them from them. They have come in and said, I want to do it. And I heard a story the other day, one of them tragic stories about a gun. A 7-year-old found a gun in the glove compartment. He pulled it out and he shot his 2-year-old brother. Those kind of stories go on all the time.
All the time.
You know, so somebody says, I don't want it. And you're right, Rudy. And you know, we specifically, we don't have a violence problem. We got a gun violence problem. All the initials the initiatives say gun violence. So anything that one can do to get what they say, there used to be too many guns on the street. Well, you know, we trying to get some of them guns off the street. It's as simple as that. I commend you for continued work, 14, because believe me, any gun you get off the street ain't gonna be used to kill somebody. It's
there you go.
It's that simple. It's
there
that
you go. See, that's what I love about you, Dr. Marshall. You make things so simple.
I try.
You know what I mean? Like alive and free. Who don't want to be alive and free? Just because some people are alive don't mean they're living.
And you know, we can spend more time. We can spend more time on the gun thing. But let me just say one thing I learned about guns. It's all about fear. People scared, right? That's why they got them in the first place. Fear drives it, right? Instead of dealing with the fear, they let the gun handle the fear, right? So, you know, I've seen that so many times, but commend you on your work. Say one more time when the gun buyback is, and we're going to take a break and come back with some more folks who want to talk about Rudy.
So Saturday, December 14th, 8 a.m. to 12 noon is our gun buyback at 1038 Howard Street in San Francisco. No questions asked. Pull up. $100 handguns, $200 assault weapons. You know what I mean? And like I had a story like you, Dr. Marshall. A lady came up, opened her trunk. She had like 50 guns. I was like, Lord, how you get all these guns, lady? She said, Sonny, boy, I thought there was no questions asked. I said, you right. My bad. Cast her out, and she smashed and got on.
That's great, man. We'll announce it again in the second hour and take us to where we're going to go, and then we'll come back.
The conversation is going to keep going on. Visit us at YouTube Live at Stay Alive and Free. You can also visit us at stayaliveandfree.org for more information, and we'll see you over on YouTube.
Hang on, Rudy. We'll be back in 5, okay? All right.
Hey, hello. I didn't know there was somebody else in there. What up with Jay?
Hey, what's up?
All right, now. Who else on here with us?
I don't know. I just got on. Let me look.
What's up with it? What's up with it?
Omar here. What's up, y'all?
Top of it.
Yep. Looks like we all here.
Can y'all hear me?
We're going to take a break real quick so we can hear you just real quick. We're live on YouTube. We're going to take a break.
Man, how do I get a background like that? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know how to do all that. Alexa, raise the volume a little.
We are live. There we go. We're live on my end.
Let me hear that. I don't hear nothing. Hello? Testing, testing.
You hear me?
I hear you.
Okay.
Hello, can
All
y'all hear
right.
me?
We ready?
Yep.
All right. Hour number 2, Alive and Free Street Soldiers Radio, now on YouTube. Oh, worldwide, we continue to celebrate 30 years. United Players and founder Rudy Corpus. Big time first hour. I loved it. It was great. And I got a text. I'm gonna tell you, I got a text. I got a text from District Supervisor Shaman Walton. He said, "Great segment tonight." Tell Rudy I said, tell Rudy I said what's up. So
Right on. Shout out to Shaman Walton.
yeah, and I said, thanks, Shaman. Rudy has done and is doing great work. We've been joined by, all right, who we got here? I'm checking my list off. We've been joined by, Sal Cruz. Is that Sal up there, right? You got Sal? Where I wrote the names down somewhere. Okay. Sal is here, right? All right. Sal, say what's up, and then we come back to you.
What's going on?
Going on. Omar Walker is there. Omar.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Omar here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You loud and clear.
Yeah.
Jason Lacey.
Yeah, Jason here.
Thank you, Jason. Everett Butler.
Hey, on all 10, I'm in.
All right. And iPhone must be Brandon Jackson.
Yeah, I'm here, Dr. Marshall. I'm here.
Oh, man. Thank you guys so much for joining us this night to celebrate 30 years of United Players and to celebrate Rudy. I mean, like I said, I go back to when he was a youngster, right? I mean, having him in my classroom at Potrero Hill and to see the
Yeah, I'm here.
the heights that he has climbed is just remarkable. I mean, when you're a teacher, you see you that's what you want. Like, I mean, and for me, every young person was like my own kids, right? And you want them to grow and prosper. You want them to actually be better than you, right? Any teacher who is a good teacher wants their students to be better than they are. And he has just been amazing. And you are here to give testament to that. So you guys, tell me your relationship to Rudy, how you know him, and what has he done for you? And so Omar, I see you over here on this side. You got the UP shirt on, so you first.
I met Rudy Corporate once I got out of prison. I did 27 years and I was sent to the city of San Francisco.
Wow.
And I met him through the transitional housing where I was staying at. They work in conjunction with United Players. And I was introduced to him, and he told me about his organization, and I started going over there from like the second day after I got out of prison. I met him, and I've been going over there volunteering, and I just love the work that he's doing, man, because I was once the kids that he served and I work with every day. I was once one of those kids.
Yeah.
That didn't have resources, that that didn't live with his parents, that move around a lot. And I understand what he's doing, man. And he has done a great thing for me by helping me gaining my footing once I re-entered to society after 27 years and give me an opportunity to help save other kids' lives, man. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. I mean, he has changed my life in so many ways as how he has changed other people's lives. But for me, it's been a really big impact in me getting out of prison and moving into a city where I really don't know anybody. I had a fresh start to hook up with him and an organization like United Players, man. It's changed my life. You know what I mean?
One of my favorite programs is getting out and staying out.
Yes, sir.
I know that's tough. I know it's tough. And I always say, and you know what's interesting? A lot of guys I met, they want that opportunity. Just let me get out, let me get out, and it's all good. And one of the things I've noticed, a lot of guys really notice they go to programs while they're inside, right?
Yes.
In this program and that. But then they get out when all the temptations are there and they're on their own. So for you to be able to hook up with somebody to continue to guide you on the outside. Because outside is where all the homies like it's all back, and sometimes people forget quick. I've seen people get out on Friday and go back on Monday. You know that, right? So it's a blessing that he's there for you, somebody you to hook into. Anything specific that he has said, or because we all had in moments, when I always tell people, call me before you do something crazy, right?
Yeah.
Anything, can you remember anything specific that he said, or a moment?
Well, it's just the relationship that he built, man. Like from day one, he always tell me, man, you know what I mean? Just, remember why you here. You know what I mean? Remember why you here, and to think before you do anything stupid. If you ever need anything, come talk to me. You know what I mean? You talk to somebody that hasn't seen my dad since I've been 14 years old. I haven't seen my mom since I've been 16 years old, and I don't have any family in the Bay Area, man. And for him to like really took me in as a family member and just love me, didn't know me from nowhere, just love me just on the strength, man. It's amazing, man. And that's I went through hell and back, boss, man. You know what I mean? Just a little backstory, man. I had life without parole, man. And I'm one of the ones that wasn't supposed to be here. So I know I'm here for a reason.
Yes, sir.
And yes, I'm representing myself, but the governor let me out with life without parole. I'm not just a representation of myself. I'm a representation of everybody in the state of California that has life without parole. So I can't fuck up. I can't go back to jail. So when things get tough, when things get rough, I got a family to lean on, and I stand on my values and the principles I live my life by. And United Players is a family. If I need anything, I could call Rudy. I could call Brandon. I could call Jason. I could call Everett. I could call City. And a bunch of more people that's going to be there to support me, whatever it is that I'm going through. And that's the thing.
and I want to tell you, Omar, this is the real you. You know, brothers take on a persona that's not really them, right? And that's what gets them off track, offset. And then what he has helped you do is come back to the real you, the real Omar, the one I always say, the one in the third grade picture, the fourth grade picture, the little boy, one that was getting gold stars.
Yeah, yeah.
You gave up for the streets, and you come back to you, man, and it's beautiful because this is what you were meant to be.
Yes,
and,
sir.
And for him, the guy, and really, you know, I always tell our you old brothers is the truth, man. You know, because we've been getting played forever, right? And so, and I don't mean played in the way you use it. You just tell them the truth. Don't mess up, you know, and that's that. Thank you, man. Thank you. You got more. You don't get to say nothing. Okay, you get to talk about all of them when it's done. So that's your remarks, Omar. We're going over to Sal. Sal.
Sal.
Yo, what's up, Philmo?
He was one of the people I was talking about when I was like, man, you changed people's lives. I was like, man, he got a business, all this stuff. He doing his thing. So shout out Sal.
Appreciate that. So I don't even know where to start, man. So Rudy's my neighbor. My mama currently still there. He currently still there. So I heard about UP, but didn't really get a feel for it till I started going to jail. Before Rudy was my boss, he was my case manager, and I remember it. I remember this day vividly. We had fought somebody on 6th Street, beat a dude up, this and that, pistol whip him. And then police came, we all ran. And when you go in our complex building, it's a little park right there. And the police chasing us. So at the time, I had a little 50 pop. A 50 pop is about 5 dimes of crack. I threw it. So the police ended up seeing me throw it right there. And next thing you know, they had us all hemmed up at the park. And you could just see Rudy over the balcony just watching us all go to jail. And I remember him coming to juvenile hall and just visiting all of us and getting me out of jail. And after a while, every time I go to jail, I don't even call my mama, I call Rudy. I said, come get me again, please. I swear to God, I'll change this time.
Yeah.
And every single time, man, like no judgment at all. No, like, oh, you tripping, I'm gonna let you in. This every single time he was there getting me out. And you know, I'm come from an immigrant family. My mama barely know how to speak English, so I used to finesse myself out of certain situations and tell her anything, and she used to believe it. And that kind of was like, it was a good and a bad thing, and it just led to certain habits. Yeah, so it wasn't I got about, I mean, I was a participant, you know, I work there now, as you can see. It wasn't a week before I turned 21 where I got shot at the same rec center where we work with the kids now. And that was one of the big like turning points. I celebrated my 21st birthday at the hospital. And I remember Rudy coming up there with all the kids, cake, you know, cupcakes. And it was like, man, this is something. And it's something that Rudy always said. It's like, man, you know, God don't make mistakes. And I got fired like 3 or 4 times. And the benefit of me getting my job back is Rudy was my neighbor. So I'd be like, man, can I get my job back? Please, come on, man. So that right there, you know, was always a plus. Yeah. A little quick background story.
You know what, Sal, congratulations.
He ain't no slacker though. He be doing his thing. He doing his thing now.
Well, that's what he was meant to be. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all.
You know, I don't want the backstory to be like his outlook. He doing his thing. I'm so proud of Sal.
What we say at the club, all you gotta do is turn right and keep straight. So that's done. We ain't, you know, but we say, you know, some get it right away, some get it sooner or later, right? And some never get it. But lady, you don't like me saying the last part. Some people get it right away. But the point is, he basically said to you, I'm gonna be here no matter what. When you ready, when you ready,
facts.
I'm gonna be here, right? You know, like yeah, I'm right here. You know, when you're ready, and this, yeah, that's unconditional love, man.
And now my son is a participant. He's been a participant since he was 5, 6 years old. And you talk about generational wealth, man. That's at its finest right there. And it's a few staff members that kids had grown up, been a participant. Now they got kids in the program, man. So that's generational wealth at its finest.
Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Sal. He got businesses. We gonna come back. We gonna let you shout out your businesses, you know, before it's over, right? Because If it's food, I'm coming. But well, all right, anyway. Jason, what's up with you?
Hey, what's up?
Holla, go right ahead, my brother.
All right. Well, my name is Jason, and my contact with Rudy was after getting out of prison. In 1994, when he was starting United Players, I was being sentenced 20 to life. So I was a full Playaz gang member in Southern California. I was a Crip. Like, I did 25 years before being released. And on my way out, you know, like everybody else, I promised I wanted to do right. I wanted to work with the kids when I got out. I wanted to do A, B, and C. Well, rather than sending me back home to Pomona, where I'm from, they sent me out here to San Francisco. And
They sent you
Rudy
to
was one of the
415.
yeah, well, I don't know nobody, right? And that's another thing, man. I thank Rudy, man, because Rudy gave me a purpose outside the hood. Because had they sent me home, I probably would have ran right back. That's all I knew. Right.
Yeah.
So I told Rudy I wanted to work with kids, man, but I wanted to work with a certain sect of kids. I wanted to work with at-risk youth on that turning point where I was when I got locked up, right? And what he told me is everybody work for me got to volunteer. So I volunteered and I volunteered. And even when I got hired, I didn't originally get to work with the second kids I thought I wanted to work with. I still had to work with the younger kids, right? Because we work with kids from the elementary all the way to the penitentiary, right? And then, you know, working with them younger kids, it reminded me of my younger self, like that third grade you, that fourth grade you, like you was talking about, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I realized I got a chance to give this little third grade me a voice, right? Because kids just want to be heard. They want to be listened to. And so working with these younger kids kind of reminded me about things about myself that I needed, right? And so now I get to work giving back what I felt like I wasn't getting from society. I actually, right now, I work with Rudy as one of his program coordinators for a project called Silence Gun Violence. And I work with kids inside and outside of custody now, right? So it's good. I'm doing what I wanted to do. I'm around Rudy. He's a real genuine person. From the time I was out, basically is what he does is like, if you want to be around, follow me, see what I do. You feel me? Because I asked him, like, what is United Players? What do you guys do? Because I hadn't heard of it, right? I was on the 4-yard, and so when Rudy was coming to visit the pen, I was missing him. But when I got out and I asked him, like, what do you guys do? He said, come with me. And the first day I went with him, I went and he took me to a high school where I got to hear Everett speak and tell his story, right? And then I kept coming back ever since. I've been coming ever since. I've been out 5 years. I served 25 years. I got out in 2019, and I've been with United Players ever since.
Wow.
Hey, Dr. Marshall, he works with Jack.
You work with
I work with Jack. I've been doing with Jack.
Jack, don't. What we say about Jack? Jack can go any hood in the city. Jack ain't only one Jack. Man, first I gotta say this. Now, so Lady E will agree with you, man. I gotta give you props when Rudy said, you ain't getting paid, you gotta volunteer. Now, right in there, Dad, you humbled yourself. A lot of no, man, I gotta have my money, man. I got bills, I got this, and so forth. That said a lot. Because people even want to do paid internships, right? They were so that says a lot right there, man. And that showed like, okay, I got it, man. And the other thing I want to say, I'm from down there. I grew up in LA, man. So I know exactly. I'm glad they didn't send you back down there.
Yeah, me too. In retrospect, me too, man.
That bread, man, that place is different. Right? It's
different.
It
gave me a chance to blossom and grow, man, like a rose that grew from concrete.
Yeah.
Real quick, I don't want to.
No,
just real quick, because I want to get to all the other brothers on the sisters and brothers on the thing. Rudy, when you said you went back, did you feel the pressure? You get what I'm saying? Like, of just you, like you said, like you guys said, like you gotta, you can't fake the funk. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether you're gonna be in it or you're gonna be out of it. Did you feel that pressure? And then you got brothers like Omar Walker, Jason Lacey chasing their lives based on you, Dr. Marshall, keeping it alive and freeing to another extent. You, Rudy, with the United Players. Did you feel that pressure, or did you just say, just like, you know what? I'm done with it. I'm out.
I mean, be honest though, Mike.
Yeah, I want the
I felt
honesty.
I felt the pressure because,
bet
I
you did.
said, like I
Yeah.
said, I live in the hood.
Yeah.
Doing the right thing is not popular. You know,
Facts.
it looks like some sucker stuff.
It's
It's
soft.
soft now. You know, I
Yeah.
had to lose a lot of friends, and who I thought was my friends. You know what I mean? And it changed a lot. It changed a lot for me who I was as a person. I grew up. I separated that kiddie table from the grown man table. You dig what I'm
Right.
saying? And I learned that this was my purpose. And I learned this, it
Wow.
felt good to do the right thing.
Wow.
And you know, it was pressure. It still is, you know what I mean?
I know he had to do this.
Deal with that too.
Well, Mike, you have to accept your calling. I remember there was a brother named Ronnie Hatter. I know you know Ronnie, right? Ronnie Hatter, Miss Maxwell's son, right? And I remember when I started, and I'm like, man, and he came in and said, you just accept your calling, man. You've been called to do this. You've been called. Just accept it. It's like, it's like the Lord, the ancestors have said to you, and once you accept the calling, it's just like you have peace inside, right? You have peace, and then it's in all of us who do this work. You just it feels good being good. Like I said, everybody can't be the bad guy, right? And you have to you accept that you're not better, but you just know better, right? I'm not better than anybody else, but I know better, and you know what you can. So Rudy did that. He just accepted it, right? It's like and that's beautiful when people accept their calling. And there's so many people that reject it. And you know what they say about the ancestors and the Lord to do if you reject the calling. So right.
I'm here to make peace fashionable, right?
Yeah.
And I mean it. I stand on that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right. That is Everett. You up. Got the
Oh, there we go. There we go. Well, where do I start at? Well, first off, Doctor, let me say that I too am born and raised in the heartland of South Central Los Angeles. I'm a return from incarceration.
That place is something else.
Oh yeah, yeah, but I can't tell you that I don't love it, because if I didn't go through them days of yesterday, I wouldn't be here to do what I'm doing today.
Wow.
Right. But yeah, so after 26 years of incarceration, I paroled to San Francisco on Halloween morning of 2017, right? Before I got out though, I got one of my closest road dogs. He got out after 30 and told me, man, what you doing in there with them youngsters, you need to meet Rudy out here. He doing it 10-4. And I'm like, homie, who is Rudy? He like, you need to meet him. I'm introduce you to him. It's United Players XYZ. So look, the day that I finally got out and got to go meet him, I'm gonna tell you what he was doing. He was laying on the couch and he had some cups on his back. And I was like, man, what the hell is wrong with dude? But that was Uncle Freddie putting work in, doing them suction cups. I was like, man, what the hell going on with him? So anyway, I later learned that was Uncle Freddie putting some work in on him, in a peaceful method, right? But through the passage of time, and I kid you not, after that day, it seemed like me and Rudy only got tighter than 10 toes in one sock, right? And even today, we just continue to get tighter. And he would always ask me, this to spin on my get down. He would always, homie, you want to work for UP? Ru, you know what, man? I came to do this to live amends, bro. I'm cool on the payment aspect of it, bro. I'm with Urban Alchemy. I'm cool. I ain't really looking for Boog. Okay, well, I gotta ask you, Boog. I'm talking about more than one time, more than 5 times. He didn't ask me, was I ready to come? I said, bro, I'm here to volunteer because I'm here to live amends. You know what I mean? I'm really here to live amends, and I meant that. Yeah. Through the passage of time, close to 7 years went by roughly before I decided to go ahead and become a real worker for United Players. I was always on my boots on the ground with United Players, but it was like 7 years later that I decided to really come work for United Players. So now I am a justice program manager, and I go inside juvenile hall along with Jason to work with the youth. But with that being the case, that's not the gist of it for me. What he has afforded me is a different vision, because I'll tell him that my negative thoughts live on my shoulder. I'll tell him I wake up and be ready to get it in sometime, because I do.
Yeah.
Because I do.
Yeah.
Coming from where I come from, my negative thoughts, they peep out sometime. They tip out of what's happening? Let's go. you know. And if I don't tame them thoughts, one will react on them thoughts.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So being able to have guys to converse with about them, even just talk about it, period. Like right now, I'm talking more so to myself than I'm talking to anybody, right?
Yes,
but I do have all the fellas on here that I can holler at, and I can, hey man, I ain't feeling it today. What you think about this? Hey man, you came a long way, man. Just keep on pushing. It ain't worth going back. I'm telling you, but man, look here, you know, and vice versa. So I felt what Omar was saying. I felt what Jason was saying. I felt what Sal was saying. I even felt what you were saying. And like I say, coming from the heartland, I'm going back down there this month. I got to go down there. My mother's buried in Inglewood Cemetery, so I will be going back down there. I'm always going to go back down there. It's just that I know, coming from the heartland down in South Central on 52nd and Compton, if I go down there, I'm not going to last. I'm not going to last because of the life I lived, and I was serious about it. It'll get the best of you. You know, it tugs at the very foundation of your soul. I've even took Rudy down there, and we stood on the very block where I got a homeboy that got shot in the head one time. He got shot. They shot one time and hit my homeboy in the head. I said, right where you standing at, homie? My homie got shot in the head. We thought he ducked in the car. When we went to the car, he had a bullet in his head, and the song, My Mind Playing Tricks on Him by the Ghetto Boys, was still playing. Right? And it's funny, we talking about it. That picture came up on my phone the other day when me and Rudy was walking down 52nd Street. I said, damn, this that same picture. Wow. But yeah, one of the things he's afforded me is a different vision, you know, because I vision doing things, but not to this magnitude. You know, now I've stood inside of City Hall and shook the mayor's hand and spoke with those who I didn't think that I've ever had the opportunity to speak of. If I be down there, I doubt that I'd be able to do what I'm doing now. I wouldn't do it to this magnitude. I would always desire to do right because I gave an oath to my mother. And that's why, may God rest her soul, she passed in 08. And I believe that's why the sun shined down on me, because she's up there in the heavens looking down on me. I give her a reason to smile now. I'm posted the days of yesterday. I'm doing right by her today.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. That's good. You know, Everett, and I noticed, man, when you get programmed, it's like a computer, right? The worst thing, and this is what I use a lot. The worst thing a computer can get is a virus, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, then the computer ain't good to nobody, right?
Talk to me. Talk to me.
You know, and you got to call somebody to get the virus out, right?
Man.
And our computers are so valuable to us that we even put virus protection on it. But when a person gets infected with this virus, this mindset, you know, and again, I'm 62nd in Danker. You know, I'm 108th in Washington. You know, I'm 108th in Western. They tore down my house to build Crenshaw High School. So I know all of that, right? That place, when you get infected like that, what we do, we care more about our computers than we care about our people, and we put them in a place with a whole bunch of other infected people, right? And it them somehow to get well, right? Because we know the joint is about punishment. It's not about rehab unless you run into an OG or somebody like Rudy come in and give you some what we thought was game and give you some wisdom. So I give you credit for knowing yourself. Like you said it, I know me, I know me, I know me. And when those thoughts come, man, you know, because that stuff is hard to get rid of, right? To be able to cause it. Hey, I love the AANA model, right? They give you a number, man. When you get ready to have that drink, when you get ready to hit that, right? You know, because one drink, you can relapse, right?
Yeah.
One hit, all those years I have been undone. I've seen dudes do that. I've seen dudes be clean for 10 years and then like, so, but knowing yourself is so important, man. I really give you a lot of love for that, man. And but also knowing your purpose is bigger than that, right? It's like the devil trying to call you back, right? But you know it's the devil. Some dudes don't know it's the devil. They think, well, it might be something else. And all y'all giving him love like that, that is wonderful, man, because he's worth it.
Real talk. So real quick before I pass this mic on, I knew the depths of my decisions was detrimental to me in prison, because that was one of my motivations to keep working out, right? Because I used to feel like, man, Jacob, Joe, and Bob, figuratively speaking, betrayed me. I ain't got no letter from them. Probably didn't send me that few dollars. Yeah, that's gonna be my motivation today to work out. Because when I get out, I'm gonna holler at them. They gotta feel me. I'm really not feeling that they didn't. We took an oath to push, and you owe this to me, man. Where you at? So That was my motivation. However, I understand that not only I knew my thoughts, but the Creator knew my thoughts. So I like to always say that God humbled me before He released me, right? And what I mean by that is He hit me with something that made me to where I can't go out there. I couldn't get back out here and do what I used to do. He hit me with transverse myelitis. I couldn't even walk before I got out of prison. He had me paralyzed, and what they took all the blood out of my body 5 times, cleaned it, gave me 5 shots of steroids, sent me to Queen of the Valley Hospital and told me they don't know if I'm gonna walk. What you mean you don't know if I'm gonna walk again? I'm a workout fanatic. I'm gonna walk again. However, at that time when I was speaking, my right leg it wouldn't move for 2 weeks, dead as a doorknob. Today, I'm on my own 2 feet. When I walked out of solitary prison in 2017, I was on a walker, but I'm on my own 2 feet right now. And that's why I always say on all 10. That's what I mean by that, because I'm really on all 10 now, and I don't have no assistance. It's God, it's faith, it's my hard work and dedication that got me here today.
God helps those who help themselves.
Amen.
Hello.
Hello.
And you gave me something else, man. Tighter than 10 toes on one sock. All right, I'm using that one.
It's yours. It's yours, man.
Yeah. Brandon, bring us home.
All right, how you doing, Dr. Marshall? I met Rudy back in 04 at Balboa. I was probably like 14 years old. I didn't go part of the program due to a few decisions. You know, I was born and raised out of Lakeview, and I went to Balboa. So, you know, I just chose not to be a part of the program. But we reconnected later on in my when I was getting my life together through the great Mike Brown out of Lakeview. I don't know if you know anybody, Inner City Youth, Mike Brown, RP, the great Mike Brown. He reconnected me with Rudy, and what Rudy have done for me, man, I see it as a second chance of life. Just being able to better kids' life, understanding, you know. And of course, I can come to anybody in here if I'm having a problem, no matter if I'm dealing with something that's very severe to me, or you know, just an issue with a kid that I don't know how to deal with. I go, you got to use the people around you, use your resources around you to become great. So man, we all tight, man. All of us in here is tight. But now, as far as Rudy, man, he did a lot for all of us, and you could just feel it. Some of us grew up in broken homes, and when we celebrate and do our Christmas events, you know, that's like family. You know, hit home. It's kind of like family, you know. And then you seeing kids happy, you know. And some of us as kids couldn't be happy on certain holidays, or you know, we got peers around us where we probably could be happy, but we got friends that wasn't happy. But the fact that we can change that, you know, those who control the kids' mind control the future. So I'm a firm believer in that. And man, Rudy just gave me a second chance at life, man. Change the way I think, change the way I move. I'm a great father to my kids. Like City said, our kids go through the program. My kids come to work with me.
And I
Middle
didn't
of the day, I go get them and bring them to work with me.
Generations of y'all people. Like I'm 40 years old. Well, I start going to just Soma. We call it Soma Gym. And I just seen the transformation. I would start working at Camille, and I would see, you know, every summer they taking kids out. The impact that provides, bro, that's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Like for real. It's crazy, blood. For real, what you provided.
You know,
I'm appreciative of it.
Well, you know,
and all y'all are a testament of it.
They're not a program; they're a family. You know, they're not a program; they're a family. And we got programmed, but we ain't really programmed. We family, right?
Right.
And we're not blood related, but we're that don't make you not family. Right. Family is a lot of us, our families ain't family. Rudy, what do you want to say about each of these guys, man? Oh, before you do that, before you go there, I'm gonna give you that. You used to go into Quentin. I know I used to go, and I remember I met this brother in Quentin, and his brother was Algernon. I remember, forget this. I don't know how I met Algernon. He said one of his things was he said he wanted to make up for all the damage that he's done. And I love that attitude. I haven't seen him in a long time, you know, Lonnie, you know, Lonnie and so forth. But do they call as much? I mean, I don't get the calls to go in. Did that stop, or is that still going on? Has there been a change in that? You know, because going in was great. You know, you go in and when you're in there, you try to drop some wisdom, you know, and you know, you don't know who's gonna listen, who ain't gonna listen, but right. They don't get a chance to hear it unless you can hear it, right? So does that still happen? I know Even with Jack, I don't know if he gets to go that much.
Yeah, they still have it. They shut it down for a while during the COVID, but
Okay.
it continues to happen. I'm actually trying to get all these guys, Brandon, Sal, Omar, Jason, and Boogie Everett, back up in there. And so it still happens. And Jack is still up there, and Jason and Everett, they're locked in with Jack, where they bring kids from our program that's sent to us through the court to go up to the program where the guys talk to the kids in the prison. I got that program name. It was where they talk to the kids, not to scare straight. It's it's not scare straight though. It's more communication instead of intimidation.
Right. What do you want to say about each of them? Pick the one you want to start with and go for it.
I'll just say this to all of them. I love you guys. I do. I'll kill a pack of wolves for y'all, man. Y'all already know that, God chose y'all to do the work that you guys are doing. It wasn't me. And all you guys are doing phenomenal work, saving lives. And like you gave me, Dr. Marshall, right, the wisdom in the game, I want to share it back with them. Because I'm not only into the marathon, I'm into the relay, right? I want to also hand it off to these guys because they're doing great work and saving lives. And the best thing, I think the most thing you could do in life is to sacrifice your life for others, right? And these guys got chose to do it. You guys are chose to do the work you're doing because of the experience that you guys been through. God has blessed you guys to move the crowd. And I'm honored to be in y'all presence. I'm honored to know y'all. And that's why, every time I see you guys, or the last time I asked y'all to come up on here, because Dr. Marshall asked me to get several people, and you guys are the ones who got chose because of the incredible work y'all doing. And y'all love y'all, man. Keep doing what y'all doing. If any of y'all owe me some money, man, I don't remember, but pay me back my money. I'm broke.
Run that.
Run it.
I want to add something, Rudy, and I mean this, man. But this is something I say all the time. I always say, when the men are right, the neighborhood's gonna be right. The community. I mean that. That when the men, cause see, it's the men been doing a lot of the mess, right? So when the men are, and look, what youngsters gonna run up on y'all? I mean, seriously, I remember being two places where the police weren't even walking in. And they're so different, right? The first one was, I've been on the stage with Minister Farrakhan, I think 2 or 3 times, right? And you don't need no more police, because them bow ties will tell you, you ain't got nothing to worry about it here, right? You don't need no police, the FOI walking around, because the men are taking care of it. The other group, which was completely on it, was a group called Men in Motion, which is a recovering addicts group, right? And Men in Motion would give these community parties, and they set all the women down, and the men did everything. The men collected the tickets, the men stood at the door, and the police, they said, man, we don't have to worry about this. I'm a huge believer in that. Because, when the brothers went away, for whatever reason they was doing, the community was left without what? Protection, love, everything, right? And brothers would posse up at the park. Y'all notice in LA, you got 16-year-olds making decisions, that the men should make. So I'm telling you, man, when the men blanket the community, you ain't got to worry about. I mean, what you gonna do? Run up on what little dude gonna run up on all Omar? No. What are you gonna do? Really? He can't talk smack to you, really. He can't. Okay, man, calm down, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's beautiful when I've seen this, man. Even at basketball, football games, right? When all the men are there, anybody, what you gonna do? Something crazy? No, because you are a man. Okay. And that takes the pressure off of Lady Estelle and Ann and all these women who've been doing all this other stuff because you wasn't there, right? In the first place. That's the beauty, man. And so I just want to thank all y'all for being men. I mean, I do that, man. I mean, that's when the village becomes, what it should be, right? When we will equally working to keep our people alive, and it makes and this is wonderful. This is absolutely beautiful to see all you brothers being who you were intended to be, and I mean that.
Takes the hood to say the hood, right?
Intended to be. intended to be, man. And it's you know, and really, you've given me a couple of props. Let me say this: you can only do this work if you've seen somebody do it, right? Because I wouldn't even think about doing this until I read. And everybody know me. Everybody know who my man is. When I read the autobiography of Malcolm X when I was 19. That's what I won't do, you know, because he's a community guy. And like when I read him, and he helped me explain what was going on, how we was just set up to fail. Somebody had to explain why it was the way it was. Why is the hood where how did this come to be? And and then that took me to Medgar, and it took me to everybody else. And you're right, Rudy. You get the handoff. And what's our favorite phrase? The more you know, the more you owe. As you grow and progress in life, you must help others to do likewise. And it's a marathon relay race, you know, because this thing was not set up for us. And a lot of people, when I say this, and I have 5,000 people, this wasn't set up for us, man. This was not set up for us. We weren't even written into the contract, okay? This was for white men with property, right? So we've been digging ourselves out of this hole, so we were set up to fail. Right. And so when we figure out the playbook and we get to it and then just pass that baton off to somebody else. So, I mean, from Malcolm to me to Rudy to y'all, it's all joy. You ain't heard this is all joy tonight. This is the way the community is supposed to be. All smiles, all joy, all love. That makes sense to everybody?
Ladies,
all love.
100.
You, man, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, I'm glad I was a good teacher.
Sure.
Lady E, you, as always, get to bring us home.
Tonight, we celebrate 30 years of United Players' wonderful work. Rudy Corpus, a native of the Bay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me straighten myself up. Tonight, we celebrate 30 years of United Players' wonderful work. Rudy Corpus, a native of the Bay, and his experience from both sides of the game to turning things around with a second chance reform, in need of a job, got an opportunity, and then he followed the blueprint of Omega's Live and Free, which took United Players all over the world to taking guns off the street and changing them to art. He changed life in many ways, from prison to purpose, so being out is where they stay. Unconditional love, caring, and support without judgment, and consistently showing up, helping, supporting, caring, transforming, sacrificing, empowering, and consistently building. So Street Soldiers wants everyone to see United Players makes a difference. And please stay alive and free. This is Lady Estelle asking you to remember all of this.
Rudy, congratulations, man. Congratulations on all your work. I know there are times, them sleepless nights and so on and so forth, but you just keep moving, man. And now I'm getting 30 more years.
you look 30.
Yeah, man, you look 30. Yeah, so you can do it 30. What you got you, sir, you got the last word, man.
So I just want to say to Jason, Boogie, Brandon, Sal, Omar, I'm proud of you guys, man. Keep doing God's work. This is God's work. This is God's plan. You know, Dr. Marshall, you know, you've been so amazing in so many people's lives, and I'm one of them. Thank you for blessing us with the gift of love and the gift of wisdom and to be free. Now that we had turned what we have learned through our purpose, you know, through our pain, we have our purpose. And, you know, all you guys who I mentioned on here and I brought on here, all your treasures are being stored in heaven. And I want to be up there with y'all one day when it's time for us to check out. You dig what I'm saying? So keep saving them lives, y'all. Keep doing what you guys are doing. I am so proud and honored to be in your presence every time I see you guys. You know what I mean? And so,
I will say this, Rudy. When you'll see your time and you line up at the gate at St. Peter, your resume speaks for itself. Okay.
You heard me.
Oh, that you come on in, brother. Come on in.
I hope so. I hope so.
Let the works that I've done speak for me.
Amen.
All right, love y'all. 30 years.
God bless y'all.
It's been great. We got to give tomorrow and say some more lies.
For sure, for sure. Appreciate you, Dr.
All right.
Marshall, and all.
See y'all soon.
Alive
Hey.
and free.
Love you.
Thank y'all for having me.
All one family.
Thank y'all.
Salute.
All right. Good night,
My
Rudy.
love, King.
Good night,
Queen.
all y'all.
That's
Okay.